People are talking about Frank in the chat.
Here we go. Alex and Ash, man, I almost did not want to hit the music tonight because after the Knicks shoot out to a 21-point lead, a 16-point fourth quarter lead, they did their best, absolute best, to blow this whole thing, end up losing the lead, take a 1-point deficit going into crunch time. Karl-Anthony Towns was amazing for the Timberwolves. Give credit where it's due. But Julius got his and one. RJ got his and one. And when they needed it the most, they got clutch free throws from Alec Burks to put this thing away. 103-99, man. I needed my pacemaker, man. I needed my pacemaker tonight. But the Knicks win it 103-99. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. CP Ashley Moss, the Stratocaster, Alex Rotaros in the building. Al, give me some thoughts on this one, man, because it was an unbelievable finish, man. Give me some thoughts, bro.
Oh my God! Talk about it's not even like a tale of two halves. It's more like three quarters. They showed up.
Tale of two quarters.
It was just like what? So frustrating that they had 21-point lead, as Ashley corrected me before this. We hopped on, but we thought it was going to be an easy cakewalk game. It was like Minnesota. They haven't been closing games. Like they keep it close for the most part, but they just can't seem to find a way to do it. And the Knicks I feel like it just comes to playing down to competition. Like for them, like they were just on, like I had that feeling throughout the entire night that they were just kind of on cruise control as they were playing, and they just were able to get up to 21 points. And then they were still staying on cruise control going all the way into the fourth quarter. Although it didn't help that the second unit just, beside Alec Burks, no one could get it going tonight. You saw D Rose struggling to find a shot. Yeah. Quickly couldn't really get it going, although he was able to draw like a foul and get to the line. Just no one was able to get it in the second unit, so we had to really rely on our first unit. But if we lost this game, man, I would have probably been in a hospital right now.
Tough. And at 21 points, I hit up Ash. I'm like, listen, man, this game is trash. There's no flow to the game. We better be ready to talk trades or switch up the topic because it's not going to be much to talk about in the game. All of a sudden it turned. Ash, what happened, man? What happened?
You jinxed us is what happened. No, it was, listen, just like we always talk about good losses and bad losses, there are such things as good wins and bad wins. And yes, you got the dub in the column, and that's really, at the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. And we got a win to add to our record, but this was an ugly one. The Timberwolves came in at 7-23, the worst in the NBA. We had a 21-point lead on them that ultimately could have went in either direction. I think the rotations killed us. Rose did not look great. Yeah. The foul trouble was atrocious between Randall and Noel, who, eventually fouled out. The game had no flow. The Knicks second unit is somewhat solid, I would say. I think they has their moments where it's a solid second unit. The Timberwolves do not. And we just let, Cat get cooking. And it was a ridiculous predicament to be in. We should never have been in it. We pulled out the win, but this was a telling one. And it's a lot of things that, going into the film room, looking at, the games that are going to be in the Garden this upcoming week, there's some things that need to be fixed and need to be corrected. You're not supposed to get into a close, shootout, and you're not supposed to have a close game against a team like this.
Worst team in the league, and I honestly think Cat could have went for 50 if he applied himself a little bit more, because neither Noel nor Taj had answers for him. Taj, give credit. Taj, bodied him up a little bit at that last possession, but it rimmed out. It rimmed in and out. Cat could have easily made that shot. It just got lucky it bounced out once Noel fouled out and Taj was guarding him. But the concerns I had was, number one, three-point defense. This was a team that doesn't shoot the three particularly well. The Knicks gave Minnesota 16 threes on the night, shot over 40% from three. Conversely, the Knicks only made 6 threes tonight. The offense was stuck in the mud once again, couldn't finish. Thought this whole game was started off and it even ended with the Knicks not able to put the ball in the hole within 3 feet of the hoop. With whether it was Peyton, Derrick Rose, even RJ at times, we just could not get the ball into the hole at the rim, and that was an issue. Another issue I looked at was the bench. The second unit, which had been a strength, and when D Rose came in, him and Quickly had it cooking for about 3 games, but they've come back to life a little bit, struggled. Obi struggled to the point where in that pivotal point in the third quarter when they started to blow the lead, Tibb pulls him with the quick hook. You know what I mean? So that second unit definitely didn't have it tonight, man. Ash, what would you think about him tonight?
Yeah, the second unit, like I mentioned, it didn't look great, and it is a solid second unit. Obviously, scoring is one of our issues on this team. Nobody is oblivious to that fact, but the second unit, for the past few games has been decent and has been keeping us, in close games, and also ultimately, responsible for helping us to secure some wins along the way too. So I don't know really what went on today. They looked a little tired. They look a little lethargic. They also looked like they kind of just, I don't know if it was the long break. I'm not really sure what was going on, but it just didn't look like the same, dynamic, or rather the same, explosive second unit that we usually see that kind of gets the offense moving. I thought, Tibbs kind of kept them also in a little bit too long. I would like to see them, get off the court a little bit quicker, especially because they just were not clicking. But, like I said, a win is a win, but this is a telling win. And, there are some things that need to go ahead and be corrected, especially, playing the next few games at home. You need to defend home court at all costs necessary. So I just hope that in that film room, they're looking at the things that, although they got the win, they're looking at the things that could have been done better, because there's a lot of them. The list is pretty long.
Definitely, man. And, even Burks, like I kind of jinxed Burks because Burks got out to a hot start. He hit about 7 points in that first half, got cooking early with a 3 and a couple of buckets, but later in that game, in that third quarter, he just didn't have much going. Like I said, luckily, he's one of the better free throw shooters on our team, and he was able to put, I think, 4 points in there and get some clutch buckets down the stretch. So that was clutch. On the good notes, Julius, once again, outstanding performance for Julius Randle. 25 points, 14 boards on the campaign, 50% from the field, 204 from downtown, 4 dimes to put it in. I thought Julius kind of started the game out where he was kind of getting everybody else involved, seeing what everybody else was going to deal with. And then once he wanted to turn it on, late second quarter, he starts turning it on. And that was that, man. He started cooking. What'd you think about Julius's game tonight?
I think Julius, as you said, he was doing a little bit of everything in the first half. I think he had like 12 points, had like 4 or 5 rebounds, and like 2-3 assists before the first half ended. And he was just trying to get everyone in rhythm, keeping himself in rhythm. He was just doing what honestly we're just expecting of Julius at this point, what we've seen at the beginning of the season. He is that engine of the team. And, he's making sure everyone gets involved. The pass to Bullock in the corner was just phenomenal. The way he was able to shake, I forget who was guarding him, and just like do a quick spin move for an easy dunk baseline. That was just another way of him like feeling the defense. It was
Vanderbilt.
What they're throwing at him.
Spun off of Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, yep. And so like he was just feeling the game, letting it come to him for the most part. And that's just what he's been able to do this entire season. So there's nothing like, honestly, like I think Jay Ellis said on the show, like we don't give enough praise to Julius Randle because it's just been like consistent enough. Like we're just kind of like, oh yeah, we're expecting this at this point, but like what?
Hold on, Alex. Don't say we don't give enough
here
praise
we go,
to
Al.
Julius Randle.
Here we go.
I am not on that train.
Go,
do not include me in that conversation. Carry on. That's all I have.
Continue.
I'm using the royal we for everyone else out there.
The common folk.
Yes. So like, just like Randall's just like out there just doing his thing. And it's kind of like, this is why he's in the all-star conversation. And even now people are starting, has to be. And now even people are talking like maybe he should even get like MVP voting, not necessarily win, but he's legit like pulling this team, like with the help of like the coaching staff and everyone else around him, like from the grave. So it's like, we got to acknowledge what Julius Randle's been doing this season and just continuously just like give this man like props for what he's done.
Yeah. And if he is not voted into the All-Star, I'm going to raise hell on Twitter. Just know that.
Criminal.
I'm giving you guys fair warning. Fair warning.
Yeah,
I'm going to light Twitter on fire if he is not a reserve for the All-Star. So just letting you guys know.
What'd you think about his night tonight?
Listen, Julius is just playing Julius Randle basketball that we've always wanted to see from him. I just feel like he really is just in his zone. Even when he's not, doing the most dynamic things on the court and, when he's not slam dunking or not playing, ridiculous defense, because I do think defensively this game wasn't the best. Obviously, you let the worst team in the NBA put up, almost 100 points. The defense is not tight the way it should be. And like I said, the game, and like we've all said, the game could have went in either direction. But we got to get Julius Randle some help, first of all. But also, I just think that he's comfortable in where he is at this moment in his career, that he's just really able to kind of facilitate and just keep the game alive and just keep the team momentum going. And it just really is just great to see and have that kind of leadership on the team, especially when this is the Julius Randle that we were kind of hungry for last season. I'm just really, excited and happy to see him come into his own as a player. And some guys, it takes a little bit longer for them to develop. I think, throughout his career, he's been in the league like 6 years at this point, 7 years at this point. So, it's taken him a little bit longer to kind of find his game and kind of find where, his boxes, his niches, and he's found it. And I think, it's only up from here for Julius Randle. I think we're only beginning to see the type of player that he's going to be.
100%. And I thought the help tonight came from Nine God, or RJ Barrett, Broadway Barrett.
Nine God, hashtag Nine God. Come on now.
The only player to join Julius in the 20-point club tonight. RJ chipped in with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 10 and 20 from the field. So another efficient game for RJ, 1-on-1 from downtown. And again, when this game got tight, he was able to get his bully ball in there, force some things in there, and he got a nice little 3-point play at the end to really get us back in the game. I think that 3-point play either put us up one. I think it put us up one. There was one point that he takes that drive on Towns and gets blocked. I would have loved to have just seen him just pull up for the mid-range. He's got to trust his mid-range a little bit more. But all in all, solid game from RJ. Nice bounce-back game. He closed in the fourth quarter, which is what you wanted to see. And I thought he did a great job of helping Julius out. What do you think?
Hey, man. RJ is just, he was my most improved at the beginning of the season when we had that panel, and he's just showing that he's taken another step this season, being able to finish around the rim, getting comfortable in the mid-range, starting to do a little bit of playmaking here and there. He's being patient with his shot selection, everything that you want to see from RJ. And even at the beginning of the season when he was in that funk where it was just either three or driving to the hoop, it was so predictable what he was going to do. Now it's just kind of like, I don't know what he's going to do on every single basis once he touches the ball. And that's what you want to know. You want to confuse the defense. You want to make sure that no one has any idea what you're about to do. And he's doing that. So he's definitely the second key component of this team to make it go. If he's not going with Julius, the team really struggles. And it's just so tough. So what RJ is doing right now, just phenomenal. I think he's always got my faith. Love the kid. Not much more you could say about him.
Yeah, not much more, but we're not trading him. Ash, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, listen, you know how I feel about those trade RJ talks, not having any of it. I really feel like the thing about RJ, he's so elusive, and he's getting more and more elusive with each game. I mean, if you look at the way that he is, he's getting to the rim. It's not just
snake dribble. It's
not just in the traditional sense, and it's not just in the traditional RJ sense that we've been seeing. He's getting more crafty and more creative, and it's just easy to see that when he drives to the rim and when he go ahead and he uses his elusiveness, it's hard to stop him, man. His athleticism, when he's in his bag, when he's in his bread and butter, is just hard to stop him. And I think when he develops, a consistent mid-range game and a consistent jumper, things like that, I mean, the kid is only 20 years old, and we have this conversation often. I mean, we're only starting to see glimmers of what RJ can be, but right now, I mean, he gets better and better every day. And I think the most impressive thing about him is that when he has the games where we're like, okay, where's RJ? What's going on with RJ? He's not, what we've been seeing. He's able to kind of snap back into it. And I'm just hoping that, when the fans return to the Garden and he has the games where he's not his best, he doesn't let kind of the crowd noise and, the outside opinions start to affect him. And he's able to kind of have that same bounce back game because he does it well. And I think that if he can continue on his trajectory, we're going to see a whole different RJ even next season, the season after that. He's only going to keep getting better.
True story. Well said. And salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP, Ashley Moss, Alex Trataros, the Stratocaster in the building. What you guys think about tonight's game? 103-99. Knicks get the W. Almost didn't want to play the music tonight, man, but we got it done. 15-16 on the campaign. And again, a much-needed win when you see how jumbled up things are in the East. So you got to take care of business at home against, these teams that you're better than. This is a last-place Minnesota Timberwolves team. But, a team that still has talent. Karl Anthony Towns is very talented, and like I said, he really could have put one on us if he wanted to, but he came in down the stretch in that fourth quarter and really enforced his will, and luckily they just didn't have enough of a supporting cast to help him out, or we would have been talking about an upset. So to everybody in the chat once again, make sure you guys sign up for tonight's giveaway. Matter of fact, we're doing 2 giveaways tonight. One to celebrate 31,000 subscribers for KnicksFanTV. Appreciate everybody for doing that. And then another for tonight's win. So the first one is a Nike. They call it a Nike mascot, but it's not the Knicks mascot, but it's just the brand of the Nike T-shirt. So we're gonna give that away. We got the giveaway link at the top of the chat. So make sure you guys hit that and sign up, and we'll announce the winners tonight in a few. All right, so let's go to the phones. Let's hear from the people. Let's hear what the people have to say on this one. Let me just pull up the phones here. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. 1,400 people rocking with us. Salute to everybody on Facebook. Benji's up first. Benji, how you feeling, bro? Yo. Benji going once?
Benji? He's still he's conflicted on how to feel about this win.
Yeah, right.
I feel him. It's okay.
All right, we'll go back to Benji. Let's see. Papa Left, what's going on, bro?
I hope everything's doing well with you guys. CP, Ash, Alex.
How you doing, bro? How's everything? You back home or no?
Upset with a win is nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
The feeling of that loss would have been so bad. It would have set up your day at work in a terrible way. It would have killed Tuesday's game because we're probably behind the 8 ball there, and then it would just put the worst feeling on this home stretch. So I'm absolutely relieved, and I'm definitely happy that we won the game. With that said, there's a few things we need to clean up. On defense, in the second unit, we really struggled in the paint to rebound, especially when Noel came out. And Minnesota closed the lead to 3. And I really thought we had a good answer for that at the end of the half and then in the third quarter. But what I think is happening is you look at a team like Toronto Raptors, Nick Nurse, or old school Spurs with Popovich, whenever they get in a rut like that, they just run a system. And that's, the strength of our team is that we can just give Randall the ball and he runs the team, like you said, like an engine. But when we start missing shots and we start losing those, simple looks at the rim, it kind of takes the edge off the game, especially when you're up, 15, 14 points. So, I don't know. It was just a very, when Hernan Gomez hit that 4-point play,
it's
it was
crazy.
kind of, something flashed off in all of our minds, I think, like, all right. This could potentially go bad. But it actually
been here before.
It actually would. But Tibbs gets a lot of heat for what he did. I don't know. Someone's going to complain about IQ. It's not going to be me tonight. But I just want to give Tibbs some credit for a substitution he made. Not the Derrick Rose one for Peyton, but actually taking out Derrick Rose when we were up 1.
Yeah, he did
for Alec Burks. And the reason why he did that is because no matter what, if Towns scores there, we're calling timeout. And if he misses, we have a free throw shooter on the floor.
Yeah, it was
and
good
it
adjustment.
turned out to be that Alec Burks got the, very NBA 2K-ish, you're not that good at shooting free throws in a video game, but his free throw rating is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good.
Free throws at the end of the game. So, I want to give credit to Tibbs there. And I want to, give credit at the end of this call for Julius Randle for proving me wrong and just capping off his all-star campaign in a very, very solid fashion. It seems like his IQ of what he wants to do with the ball, he doesn't settle for anything. He gets the perfect shot he wants, and it's just a pleasure to watch. And last thing I'll say about RJ, a lot of people are kind of like iffy on RJ. I'm not one of them. I love RJ. And the fact that he's, missing these shots at the rim you can't get mad at him because who else do you want to shoot the ball? There's nobody else on this team who's ready and willing to shoot that ball other than him and Randall.
Yeah.
There was a Space Jam moment when Derrick Rose ran through the lane and jumped back past Randall, and he jumped back past to Reggie Bullock. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. But you know, RJ definitely doesn't care. RJ had one of the worst bunny choke job misses, and then he came back with an and one. And he took on 3 Timberwolves, and the fact is, we don't have space.
It's the spacing, man. The
that
spacing.
is going to create, you know, those kickoff positions. So
yeah, man.
I love RJ. I'm not mad at the win. We're 15-16, and we can actually have a great moment with the fans on Tuesday night. Have a great night, guys.
Appreciate it, bro. Hope you're recovering well. And like Ash, it's like you were saying the other night, man. We need spacing around RJ, man. Yeah. Every time he's driving to the hoop, he's on 4 guys in the paint. I mean, we got to figure out those lineups, stagger those lineups so that he's out there with, you know, Burks, Randall, Quickly. You know what I mean? Get him at Bullock. Get him out there with the shooters, man. We got to give this kid some space.
Yeah, he definitely. Well, first, some people are saying they're having a hard time with the form. So if you guys can check that for.
Okay, Dave, check the form and make sure that that everything is straight. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've said before, and I'll keep saying it. RJ does best when he has nice spacing. I mean, you've seen in earlier games when IQ was kind of able to get that offense running for him. RJ just flourishes in environments like that. So Tibbs really needs to do. Obviously, it's a little bit hard now because we don't have the shooters that we need to go ahead and create that offense for him. But I think, you know, Tibbs needs to do the best job he can possible with what he has until he has something else, because, you know, that's where, you know, RJ really flourishes when he shines. But I think the great thing about RJ is he's doing a lot with not having what he needs to really get to the next level. I think it's really impressive that he's kind of able to just add different things to his game that really we're not making it easy for him to add. And he's still kind of getting, you know, in the paint, and he's still getting those shots up, and he's still kind of helping out.
Efficient.
He's still efficient, you know, on multiple ends, multiple sides of that ball. So I just think that, you know, when you really get RJ the help that he needs, and when he really is an offense and part of a team that has all the little things that somebody of RJ's position needs to really take his game to the next level, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be fantastic. He is going to, like I say, and I keep saying it, he is the face of this franchise, and we've only just begun to see what he's going to look like. So,
yeah. Al, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Ashley said it. We need shooters on this team. Like, you're not going to see RJ at his full strength unless you get a lot of floor spacing on, like, this team for him. So you see Tibbs is, like, starting to stagger some of these minutes. Like, you'll see Randall now coming in with, like, the second unit before Obi comes in. You'll see Rose, IQ, Burks, and Taj on the floor. So he's trying to get Randall some spacing. Now we want to see that for RJ and see what RJ can do with those guys too, because I think if you give those guys to RJ, like, RJ could just run wild, especially in transition, you know, with those guys as well. I'd love to see that. That's something that would definitely, like, help this team too, like, get some quick, easy transition buckets that the second unit can do. We haven't seen enough of it, but yeah, just we need shooting. We need to put RJ in just like open space, let him rock. You saw what happened when Payton was able to find him for that. It was, he made it look easy.
He
but
hit
it
him
was
with the Gotham lob. He hit him with the Gotham lob. Payton passed it to him.
Dude, my heart was in my throat. I was like, did this actually just happen?
Payton passed it to him for the Gotham lob, man. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, as you guys said, man, RJ's doing a lot with a little right now, and he was very critical in this game. Very critical in this game. So, salute to RJ. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Let's shout out some of the super chats that came in. Who hit us with a super chat? Salute to, for some reason I can't see this. Let me unpin this. Somebody sent a super chat. My bad, I can't see the name. He said Randall is our only consistent talent on offense. Second unit almost cost us 2 games in a row. That's true indeed. Paul Robinson says, I'm a Knicks fan, but an honest one. We're not nice enough to take our foot off the gas at any point in the game. Just facts. I'll take the W, though. Rich Novak, good finish to get the W. Bench has to step up. CP China Restaurant, a.k.a. Snyder, has reopened.
Oh, your spot is back.
So the spot is reopened. Snyder Wings, Al, just to put you on. It's a Chinese restaurant in Brooklyn, man. But they used to have like the banging wings. You know what I mean? You know how the Chinese food spot in the hood always has like the popping wings. Even if it got like that little like feather on it on the tip, it's a little season. Just a little seasoning. You just Ash, you just gotta pluck that off, man. Just a little seasoning. That's it, man. So shout out to Snyder Wings, man. Hopefully we got a sponsor. Ron Hansley Jr. says, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Nerlens No Hands Noel came up big with 10 points, 9 boards, 2 blocks in 28 minutes. Way to hold down the fort through Mitch's injury. Yeah, it was a struggle for Nerlens on Towns, man. But yeah, in the clutch, he did get a block on him. And he ended up fouling out, and Taj ended up, getting enough defense on Cat to make that a difficult baseline shot. And so they were able to win the game. But I just thought it was funny, Al, when there was one point, Nerlens has no hands. There was one point late in the fourth where he passes it to Bullock. And so whatever was on Nerlens' hands that, he's not allowed to catch anything, goes to Bullock, and it goes through Bullock's hands, and they turn the ball over. That was when I had to turn the pacemaker up, bro. I couldn't take it. I couldn't.
My God. That was comedy right there. I was just like, it's a what is going on moment. Just the two guys who are like in crunch time that you're just like scared to see the ball go into their hands. You're just like, why? No. Like I feel like Bullock no. I feel like Bullock has had so many like fourth quarter like blunders too, like this season, where it's just kind of like, please, like just first fourth 3 quarters meltdowns. Open. If you're open, give it to him. Noel just
meltdowns, bro. Bullock with the fourth quarter meltdowns, man. It's unbelievable. But a win is a win, and we'll take it all the same. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. We got 1,500 people in here. Sign up for tonight's giveaway. We're giving away two items tonight, so make sure you guys get involved. Dave said that the form is okay, so I'm not sure if people are having issues. Just double check and make sure. Do what you can. Dave, make sure you also post the link in Facebook. We got to show our Facebook people some love as well. JJ from Brooklyn, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's good? A couple of statements and then a question.
Yep.
Man, this one got tough, man, but it's a win. That's all you could really say. But the thing I wanted to say first was with Rose and Quickly, when they're scoring, you don't really notice it, or if you do, you're just like, whatever, because, they're dropping points. But when they're not, it really stands out that specifically with Rose, that the ball just stops when they're in the game at times. It's just a lot of one-on-one. It gets stagnant. It gets really stagnant. The same with Randall as well. That's why our offense is going to struggle at times. When the ball gets stagnant, and then you don't have much shooting out there, these type of things are going to happen. And then I have to say this, to clowns like Max Kellerman.
Ooh, let's go. Turn it up.
Go root for the Nets.
Turn it up on
joke. This guy, man. The Knicks fans, let me say this. Knicks fans are the most loyal fans there are in sports. No real Knicks fan is going to root for the
front
Nets
runners.
Just because they have a great team.
Yeah.
Let's see in a few years when those guys are gone, Kyrie and Durant. Let's see who's a real Nets fan and how much love they get on ESPN. And then last thing I want to ask you guys is, do you think with Tibbs, he's kind of a pushy guy? Do you think that he'll kind of say, let's just make a big move and, we end up mortgaging the farm, or get like a Beal or something like that and, go against the front office in a way? Because he did bring Rose, so they had a lot of that had to be, Tibbs' call. So do you think he holds that much weight or no?
Good question, man. Good question. Good comment, man. I like how you brought that smoke to Max Kellerman and Stephen A. on front runner take, because we don't rock with them. So appreciate JJ for that. And it's an interesting segue because, earlier this week I had on John Krasinski, senior writer for the Timberwolves of The Athletic, and he covered Tibbs during that tumultuous time as head coach. And we talked about that, playing the vets versus development. Win now versus development. Remember that first year with the Timberwolves, he had Levine, he had Towns, he had Wiggins, a young team, and they struggled. The next year, he brings in the old Bulls. He brings in Jimmy Butler, trades Levine for Jimmy Butler. He brings in Rose, Taj, Luol Deng, brings in the whole squad. They end up making the playoffs. So, what we got to the point, he was basically saying that, with that treasure chest, the assets that the Knicks has, he didn't believe that development was going to be the true path that they take. And it's just interesting just watching it now and how he kind of treats Obi and even Kevin Knox, Frank, the guys that will struggle at times. He has no patience for those guys. And Tibbs is even going on record as saying, not that he's starving for a star, but it's a star-run league, and that eventually he's going to want one. So what do you guys have to think about that? Ash, I'll start with you, man. What do you think?
Yeah, it's tricky because that's one of the pros and cons of having a young team, right? So the pros is when you're in the rebuilding era, a young team is the most beneficial because if you're able to keep them together, you'll have them for the long term. But the cons of that is that you need to have an organization, you need to have a coaching staff that knows how to develop young talent and has the patience to develop young talent. And when developing young talent, it's not always going to happen instantaneously. Usually it does not. It's very rare that you get a rook or you get a guy in his second year rather, who's just, ready to go and he's LeBron freaking James. It just doesn't happen like that. And, I think that's where Tibbs kind of has a strike against him, is that he doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time or the patience or the desire to develop the guys that he has. So it is the concern, when we speak about Obi, that if you don't have the patience to develop somebody who, yes, was supposed to be NBA ready, and that was the selling point.
Even Tibbs said it. Even the coach said it.
That was the selling point of Obi for Tibbs and for the Knicks organization as a whole. But, things change. With the pandemic, you lose the summer league. You don't get a true, off season. You get, a very, very short training camp. The guys can't really practice together. They're kind of practicing in units. They're practicing one-on-one with coaches. So it kind of hindered what Obi's development could have been. And then he got injured. So then that's another situation. So I feel like that is going to be detrimental. And that's definitely problematic, when it comes to this young team, because like you said, Tibbs does not seem to have the patience. And he doesn't seem to want to put the work in to do what it takes to develop young talent. So that's going to be a problem moving forward, definitely.
And you know what? That's kind of why I see the focus or the emphasis on building out that player development staff, bringing in Johnny Bryant, a young upstart who groomed Dame and groomed Donovan Mitchell, and somebody that could really help on that end. They brought in Aaron Brooks. Supposedly they plan on bringing in additional coaches that solely focus on the player development side. So it seems like, this was part of my conversation with John, Al. It just seems like Leon Rose is trying to cover up Tibbs's weaknesses, whether it's relationships or player development, so to speak, by kind of just helping him, with those complementary pieces. But what's your take on it?
I agree with that take 100%. And I think he mentioned it too in the interview where you had Tibbs out in Minnesota. He was the GM. He was also the coach. And, he wanted to win now. He wanted to create like a team that was just like up to speed with him because he was doing two jobs. Okay. So like when you're doing two jobs, you also want to like make something easier on you. So coaching, bringing in Jimmy Butler, bringing in Taj Gibson, bringing in those guys who know your system and know how to play together makes it easier for you, so that you don't have to train those guys. And it was just his voice that he was hearing. Now that you have Leon Rose, who understands Thibodeau, he's bringing that's why you bring in Kenny Payne. That's why you bring in Mike Woodson. These are the guys that are the soft factors to Tom Thibodeau. When you bring in guys like Walt Perrin who can scout good talent with the Zanin brothers, and you bring in Alex Klein, all these guys, like this is a team that Leon Rose is going to listen to everybody and make sure everyone is heard. And I think bringing in Derrick Rose doesn't necessarily mean that Tibbs is being pushy and getting his way. We all saw it. Okay. Elfrid Payton can only do so much. We were missing a point guard, someone who can actually attack and be a threat at the rim. Okay. Regardless of how Derrick Rose has started to teeter off and getting closer to the end of his career, and he may not be the elite finisher that he was when he was the MVP candidate out in Chicago. He at least does something that Payton can do, but also helps the second unit and also keeps the ball moving at that point and passes a little bit better this season than Elfrid Payton too. We see how he can whip the ball around and find people moving. And the cost for Derrick Rose wasn't that much either. Dennis Smith Jr. and a second rounder is nothing. It's not like we're mortgaging the farm to go bring in Derrick Rose. And I think that was the smart trade. If you're not going to use Dennis Smith Jr., who was kind of on his last leg here, and it didn't seem like he had a future here either. So you're giving him a chance to go do something out in Detroit. And you're also bringing in a guy who can help develop some of these young guys like an Obi Toppin, like an Emmanuel quickly. So I don't see this as just Tibbs is going to get his way every single time. I think Leon Rose just from how you see how he's handled his own career, right? He listens to everybody, make sure everyone is heard, and that's the type of guy he is. He's going to bring everyone in the room together.
Right. And based on the relationship, he will certainly have a big voice at the table based on the relationship with Leon Rose. But Ashley, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's also though a little bit of a lazy approach too, because you're kind of bringing vets in to do your job essentially. And the thing is this Tibbs, it'd be different if Tibbs was inheriting a team that had been together for a few seasons, but this is a Knicks team that has seen a lot of changes over the past few years, and you knew what it was when you signed up. To quote the popular phrase, you knew what it was when you signed up. You knew you were getting guys who needed a lot of work. You were getting guys who did not, play together as a unit. There's been a lot of changes. You were getting guys that were young. You were getting guys, that had a lot of, things that needed to be, worked out of their games, things that needed to be added to their games. So it's not it shouldn't be a surprise that they need work. It shouldn't be a surprise that you have a team of guys who need help, who need development. And I think that, developing young talent is a chore. And it's a chore that I don't think that Tibbs wants to do. I think he's much more comfortable, dealing with the guys who've been in the league. He's much more comfortable kind of pushing that onto other people, which is fine. But then you need to go ahead and have a team of guys around you, a coaching staff around you that doesn't mind going ahead and doing what you don't want to do. Because in the long run, you're not going to have a team full of vets to carry your slack. This is a young team. They're going to be a young team in the future. And you're going to have to constantly develop guys, and you're constantly going to have to break them out of habits. You're constantly going to go ahead and have to, put new things into their game and things like that. And if that's not something you want to do, fine. But somebody else has to be in charge of doing it. And there has to be some equilibrium shift in that coaching staff where that's somebody's responsibility.
See, it's a delicate balance, right? Because if you don't have those quality vets, you're the Timberwolves. Straight up. You're the Timberwolves. And after they got rid of Butler, after they got rid of all those Bulls, they went back to the Timberwolves, losing and losing and losing some more. And in New York, you're not gonna last that long. Just look what happened with David Fizdale. Look at everybody else before that. So it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? You could go in and play all the kids that you want, and all these draft picks that we get in, you could pick them. You could play them and see what happens. You're not going to win many games. Unless you get the next LeBron James, which is very unlikely. You're not going to win a lot of games, and that's going to cost you your job. So it's a double-edged sword.
And then on top of that, when you do get the superstar that you're itching for, because let's be honest, we're missing that superstar player. We need that guy. Your chemistry is then going to change again. So you're going to have to go ahead and put that development into guys once again. So it's just going to be a constant development is a thing that is constantly revolving. It's constantly moving. It's constantly shifting. Yes, it may not always be rookie development, but it's always development of some sort. You can't expect guys just because they've been in the league for a certain amount of time to just be able to kind of switch up whenever the case may be. Development is constantly moving. It's constantly happening. So Tibbs needs to kind of snap out of that mind frame. Like, you've been here, you should know what to do. It's not like that. This is a Knicks team. If you're trying to, have a contender, be a contender in the future, you got to put the work in to make that happen. And it starts with chemistry and it starts with development.
Yeah. Al, you got to skate, right?
I do have to skate.
All right. So you want to just sign out for the people real quick?
Well, all right. Well, Ash, CP, it was great talking with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Wish I could have been on longer. Got to record a podcast. So for everyone out there, you can find me. You can find my work at Hoops Habit. You can find some of the stuff here at KnicksFanTV.com. You can also find the podcast, Knicks Jets, etc. And you can also find sports betting at Tally Site if you guys are into that, based on where you are.
All right, man. Good stuff, bro. Appreciate you, my dude.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good one, guys.
I'll talk to you, bro. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Salute to Alex for coming through. CP and Ashley Moss checking in with you. Cheers. My guy Kyle Medlin in the chat. What's good, money? He said, what kind of wine am I drinking? This is a white one. This is a Sauvignon Blanc. You know what I'm saying? We won't give them the Vineyard Ash because they haven't sponsored the show yet, but it's a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's all they need to know.
It's just you and me, kid.
That's it, man. But it's a good one. So salute to you guys. And that's the topic of tonight's show. JJ just segued us. What do you guys want to do by the trade deadline? We're coming up almost a month away on the trade deadline. Should we be buyers? Should we be sellers? Call us up. Let us know. 657-383-1509 is the number. Ash, let me just fix your camera up real quick. And we'll get back to the show. Let me get back to the phones while I set you up. Ari in the building. Ari, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up going on, CP? What's going on,
What's
Ashley? Good, perfect question, because the only answer to that question is sellers, obviously. All right,
like, we know what you want to do.
Here's the thing. And I wanted to talk about this before you even brought it up, but I wanted to talk about that interview you did, that awesome interview. If you haven't seen it, check it out with the T-Wolves guy. Awesome interview, awesome insight. Basically, what I got from that was that Tibbs is trying to win now. We knew that, but now we really know that, right? And listen, man, I need Leon Rose to be disciplined and and stick with this rebuild, man. We need to be sellers at the deadline, all right? And development needs to be the number one priority. If we trade the farm for Bradley Beal and Julius Randle aren't going to win us anything, and we're going to lose our entire future, I will not have it, all right? I don't care if Tibbs wants to win. I don't care. I don't care, all right? Like, that would be – we're not ready for that type of move yet. We need more assets. We need to develop these players. And then next year or the year after, after we get another lottery pick, or we get 2 picks, we make the playoffs, let's say. We got our pick and Dallas's pick. Then maybe next year, when you have more assets and we have another year of development, then you chase. Yeah. But right now, the answer is obviously being sellers, all right? Obviously. Mm-hmm. And one other thing I wanted to talk about real quick also, the Julius Randle situation, right? All right?
Oh, boy.
Listen, okay?
Oh, boy.
Again, rebuilding is the number one priority right now, because there's no point of making a win-now move if you're not going to win a championship. I follow this girl on Instagram, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says in her caption, if you're not first, you're last. Okay?
Oh, boy.
That was me.
That in the caption, right? Yeah, I know. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. All right? If you're not first,
I don't know what happened to Ari's audio.
Okay? So Bradley Beal and Julius Randle aren't going to win us anything. We're in last place, all right? We need to put ourselves in a position to get the next LeBron James or get the next superstar, right? And you don't do that by just mortgaging. Like, why wouldn't we have just signed Jimmy Butler and Vucevic in 2019 if we wanted to get the two All-Stars? We didn't want to do that then because we knew it wasn't enough. It's too early to do it. We need to keep developing, all right? And I understand Tibbs wants to win now. And listen, this takes discipline. You don't think I want to win also? I'm not trying to tank, all right? I want to win, okay? But I have the discipline and I have the vision to know that we're not going to win no matter what right now, right? So we have to just be patient,
all right,
and develop. And I understand Tibbs, it's his record, but still, just do the rebuild.
All right, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Because, your call was kind of chopping up. But I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 100%. Listen, Bradley Beal, Ash, we know the talent that he is, man. We know the talent. He's an absolute stud. I would love to have him on this team. We're just not ready. We're not ready for Bradley Beal. We're not at the point in our rebuild, in our trajectory where Bradley Beal is a trade for Bradley Beal is going to make much sense for us right now. It's just not going to make much sense for us at this current moment in time. I would love to have him. I'm not trading 9God for him. I'll tell you that. I'm not trading RJ for him. So, number one, I don't even know if the Wizards want to trade him. I think a lot of this is
not even about whether the Wizards want to trade him. It's does Bradley Beal want to go?
Yeah.
He has the power. It's kind of like, he's torturing himself, but that's a different conversation. Truthfully. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too early. I'm with Ari on that, man. It's too early. It's too early to talk, mortgage in the future for Bradley Beal. I'm definitely not trying to do that. No chance. No chance.
No, I agree. I actually agree with that take. I said a couple of shows ago before we went on this little mini break, I said any move that you make, in this era, in this portion of our rebuilding era, can, either make or break us for seasons to come. And I don't think trading the house for someone like Bradley Beal, obviously an exceptional talent. Shout out to him for getting his first All-Star starter vote. I mean, amazing player. It's just we're not there. We're not a team that needs to win immediately. It's not a move that we need to make because it's not going to be something that I feel like is going to drastically help us change as a team. I just think that if anything, it can go ahead and hurt us in the long run. And I think we are in a position right now where there are multiple pieces that we have that are already existing within our team, within our franchise that we want to keep. And I think it's about building on top of what we already have. I think that, we have young guys, we have young talent that we have to continue to develop. And here's the thing, when you have a team that wins, right? When you have a team that shows some type of, light of opportunity or prosperity and things like that, you get the guys that, ends up being free agents and things like that. They're now considering New York. New York's now on their list because now it looks like New York's no longer a laughing stock. Now people want to play in New York again. So you get those big names. Not only, obviously, you don't get them in the draft unless, like you said, you get LeBron James, but that happens how many times in a lifetime? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Once in a blue
moon. But if you go ahead and you build a team that shows promise, when the big names are able to go ahead and become free agents, they want to come to New York. They don't want to, that we're no longer at the bottom of their list. So I think there's a way to do things. And if we were a team that didn't have any draft picks, if we didn't, have anything in the stock room, if you will, I would say, listen, we got to make a move. We got to make it drastic, not only for now, but for our future. But we're not that team. We have a lot of options and we should use them.
We're not there yet. And then as far as being buyers or sellers, I would say if they're going to buy low like they've been doing, like Derrick Rose type of move. If a Redick move is cheap, I wouldn't be so crazy about it. But if they want to make that, okay, fine. It's something like that. In the margins, buy low, nothing that you're going to regret potentially down the road. Something low that may fall into your lap. Remember, they still have some cap room to spend. And because they haven't hit their salary cap floor. If they don't hit their salary cap floor by the end of the season, that balance gets spread across the roster in terms of salaries. So they still have some money to spend. If there is some sort of blockbuster trade, they could be a middleman in terms of facilitating that. But I would just buy low. Selling, what do you, I don't know. If a team wants a Bullock or a Burks or Rivers, okay, I guess if they can get something, but you're not going to get what we're looking for is a first round pick here. Anything less than that to me just doesn't make sense. Or if you're going to get like a young upstart player in that type of trade, if you're not getting that, to me, selling, I would just keep the team intact. If they want to make the playoffs, keep the team intact and shoot for that and buy low.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this is not a team that is expected to win a championship this year, the year after, or even the year after that. I think there are teams that have a lot more pressure on them to kind of make those drastic moves because their window is short. You have teams, that have guys who are much older who only have a certain amount of time left to play with each other or to play in the league. So you make those drastic moves. You don't mind going ahead and trading away a big core of your team because you want to go ahead and win that championship before the superstars on your team retire or before, they're not the same type of player they are at this moment in time. We're not that team. We have the, we're able to have the luxury of being in a situation where we're not expected to do much, but if we do, that's amazing. Yeah. But it's not something that is a necessity. And that's what I said at the very beginning of this season, regardless of what this season ended up looking like, whether we go to the playoffs or not, the goal is to just continue to move forward, not take steps back. Yeah. Even if it's just 5% better, even if it's 10% better, just constantly moving forward and to maintain some sort of foundation and consistency within this franchise, because that is what we've been drastically missing. We've been missing consistency in so many different parts of this franchise, from the front office to the coaching staff to even the players, that you don't want to go ahead and go back and revert to old ways. You want to go ahead and start a new culture of, winning and a new culture of the New York Knicks. And you do that by keeping your young guys together and adding to what you already have without having to drastically change it.
True story. Well, let's hear what Angel has to say tonight. Angel, how you feeling, man? Do you want to be buyers or sellers at the deadline, man? What do you think, bro?
Hey, what's going on, CP and Ashley? How's everybody doing?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I almost blew a head gasket in my car watching this game. But listen, if I'm the Knicks, we gotta be buyers, bro. Like, first of all, we just need shooting. If we can get shooting, then I think RJ can flourish, and I think Julius Randle can keep doing his thing. So we need to get some shooting and maybe some rebounding because we're giving up way too many rebounds. And also, we're trading too many, twos for threes. Like, we're giving up threes and just making twos. So we need to do better on the three-point defense.
Yeah.
But, as far as the game is concerned, Alex Burks, he deserves a free lift ride home from me because those 4 free throws just they're going to make me have a good night. But the bench almost gave up the game. They shot 3 for 16 for this game. The last 2 games, they've been shooting 6 for 34. So I think they need to give Obi the ball more once, quickly and Rose, start to make shots. Because if you're not making them, you're going to have to score somewhere else. Yeah. Give Obi the ball, and, besides that, I mean, I'm happy we won, but we can do a lot better. But, hey, this ain't last year. Last year we probably would have lost this game. So in that aspect, I'm glad Tibbs is our coach because, we were still able to hold on and win the game. So I don't want to do another rebuild. We need to keep doing what we're doing right now, and then, we'll see what happens.
All right, but appreciate the call, bro. But, I mean, that's what we're doing right now, bro. We're rebuilding.
It's not another rebuild. We're doing it.
We're in it. We're in it.
We're in
the thick of it, man.
Yeah.
You got to be patient. Ash. Go ahead.
I mean, I hear what he's saying about give Obi the ball, but here's where that's a conflict, right? The moment he does, and this has to do with Tibbs and patience, because when Obi does have the ball, it's 1 or 2 Obis that you get. You have moments where you can kind of see that if he's given more attention, if you will, to kind of grow and develop, he could be a star. There's moments where you see it, but then there are times when he has the ball in his hand, and you're just like, I don't understand who this person is. He looks a mess. He just does not look like he knows what he's doing. He does not look like he's NBA ready. He does not look like any of the things that were added to his resume when it came time to draft him. So giving him the ball, I don't think Tibbs trusts him.
He doesn't.
That's the thing. Tibbs is not going to develop plays. I don't think his teammates trust him. Yeah. I don't think they're drawing up plays to kind of utilize him and give him an opportunity to showcase what he can do.
They're not.
I just think that he's between a rock and a hard place on this team at this moment in time because nobody seems to trust him because they don't know what he can do. Yeah. But it's like, please trust me so I can show you what I can do. It's a very tug of war, back and forth relationship. And it's very, very difficult to see what Obi is going to be able to do. And you can see he looks very uncomfortable out there. He looks lost. He looks like you just kind of implemented him from a different planet onto the team. And he has no idea what he's doing here. Like, how did I get here? Like, it's concerning.
It's hard, man. It's hard watching Obi. Listen, I'm going to have as much patience as I can. Definitely not going to slander him in any way. But it's tough, as you said, because on one moment he looks confused. Mm-hmm. He struggles at times in the post. I'd like to see him face up and just attack. Just attack. Be relentless out there. Get him in the pick and rolls. Between IQ and Rose, they run no pick and rolls for him whatsoever. And they don't trust him. And I'd love to see that. And then, as you said, the moment, whether he's doing good or bad, there's a point he's getting pulled. You know what I mean? He's not getting past that 10, 12-minute mark. He's getting pulled. And tonight, rightfully so, though, because the lead was getting, it was dwindling and the game was getting out of control. Had to go back to your go-to guy. Had to go back to Randall. But the Obi thing is gonna be interesting to watch, man. I just hope they figure it out.
It's also hard to watch it because, like we both said, he looks lost out there. But I think he knows also. I think he knows that his teammates don't trust him. I think he knows his coach doesn't trust him. I mean, you don't have to be, Einstein to kind of figure out that the plays that are being constructed do not utilize your talents. You don't have to be Einstein to know that you're not getting playing time. You don't need to be Einstein to know that you're not getting the opportunities to showcase what you can do and what you can bring to this team. And it's definitely detrimental to the development of a player. It's definitely detrimental to your mentality as a player because you want to contribute. You don't go to the NBA looking to just sit on the bench and just, collect the wins or collect the losses and just not participate. You want to be there. You want to play there.
Yeah, but the problem is they do not play him and Randall together.
They don't.
They do not play them together. Maybe next year. It ain't happening this year. I'll tell you that right now. And that is back to what I said earlier this year. The fact that they do not play them together. If you are settling with playing Obi Toppin 9 to 12 minutes a night, the end, you wasted the draft pick on him, and there were other options that could have been a better benefit to this team.
So Woj just tweeted that the Timberwolves had fired their coach.
Whoa! They left him in New York.
Damn, do you think he gets to take the plane home or no?
Damn, Ryan Saunders has been fired.
Yep, it says the Minnesota Timberwolves have dismissed coach Ryan Saunders. Sources tell ESPN as of 1 minute ago.
Cold-blooded. Good job, though, Ash. We dropping bombs on the show, man. Live and direct. Hit that thumbs up button for Ashley. Let's go.
Do you think he gets to take the plane back to Minnesota?
Yo, how's he getting home?
Does he got to get a different flight? Like, how exactly does
they threw him on the Peter Pan, not even the Greyhound. They threw him on the Peter Pan back to Minnesota. Cold world.
Damn, that's
Flip Saunders' son. Rest in peace, Flip Saunders.
Maybe he can get on a plane and take Frank and some other people with him to wherever he goes.
Damn, that is
like
cold.
Take Peyton, take Frank, take a couple people with you.
Cold business, man. Cold business. They left him in New York. They said they dropped him off at Port Authority. Oof.
That's wild.
Cold-blooded, man. Man, if they would have won the game, I wonder what would have happened.
That is the $1 million question. But listen, that's a different level of savagery.
Savage.
Like, you lose the game and it's like, yeah, you can't ride with us, homie.
Savage. PJ Burkett said they put him on a Spirit Airlines flight. Ooh.
Not Spirit. Listen.
Damn. That's cold. That's cold.
That is cold. It's just like, look, you don't got to go home, but you can't ride with us.
They put him on Spirit. You got to pay for his own bags, the ticket, everything. You know, Spirit, they do you greasy. Like, even just to get a seatbelt, you got to pay. Yeah.
It reminds me of the clip. I don't know who in the chat who's ever seen the clip, but back in the day, they used to do those MTV like docu-series where they would follow different artists and stuff. And there's a clip of Destiny's Child, and they're breaking up the group, right? So it's just going to be the three girls, Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. And one of the girls is like, I don't have any luggage. They're sending her back to Houston or wherever she's from. And she goes, I don't have any luggage. And Beyonce's like, well, somebody can send your luggage. Like, you can't come with us, though. Like, that's basically what they did.
Cold world, man. That's Flip Saunders' son. Damn, we sent him some super chats. Let me salute the super chats. Maybe we donated to him. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP Ashley Moss holding it down. Oof. Sent that boy out in the cold. Salute to the Rhyme Animal Ash. Chuck D sends us a super chat. He says, no foot off the gas at any point in the 72-game season. Great article last Thursday, New York Times, on Julius Randle. His mom's ex-Texas star gives him his resolve. He's a New York type of star. Head is level for NYC MSG. He's right, though, Ash. The Randle thing, he's really, really earning his stripes this year with the team. Mental toughness. Mental toughness is what being a Knick is about. And we dragged him through the mud. He heard it. I don't know if you listened to that JJ Redick podcast, but it was great. It was great.
We did not drag him through anything.
I'm talking about before you came on the show.
I didn't drag him back then either.
Listen,
I just thought he was having a little bit of a rough time adjusting, but I've been the captain of the Randall.
You know what? We gonna do some archives of your tweets and see what's going on back last year. We're gonna check your tweets from last year.
Actually, please don't, because I may be wrong.
Make sure you was consistent. Make sure you were consistent in your thoughts. Yeah, you know they do that, man. You know they do that.
Oh, facts. They do.
Yeah, but no, his interview on JJ Redick's podcast was great. He dropped a ton of gems on the team. Just talked about Tibbs. You know, said Tibbs wasn't as bad as everybody made him out to be. Actually, he called Tibbs a softie. Said he was more of a player's coach. He gave a lot of credit to his teammates. Said a lot of the young guys are gym rats. Said it's one of the best teams he's played for, best coach he's played for, and he said it's the most fun he's having. So give credit to Julius, man. I really hope he makes an all-star team. He deserves it. And yeah, man, so salute to him.
Yo, they really try to get me in the chat. Paul Robinson said, do it quick before she deletes.
Dig those tweets up. Dig those tweets up. Ashley Nicole Moss, Julius Randle.
I ever diss Julius Randle, but if I did, I will stand by.
Dig those up. Dig them up. Salute to John Cheriel, sends us a super chat. Tim Kim says, I miss Mitch. You can really feel his lost presence. Hope he gets the bag this off season. Yeah, salute to Mitch, man. He said he wasn't sure when he was coming back. I think they had originally gave him a 4 to 6 week timetable to come back. So let's see what happens there. M. Rivera 4396 says 9 God is the worst nickname ever. Bully Barrett, Broadway Barrett, much better.
First of all, if you don't like 9 God, then don't use it. But that's not going to change me from using it.
Some people
and
like
9 God works. For people who don't know the backstory, obviously RJ's number is 9. He's from Canada. Drake is the 6th God. 9 God. It makes sense. So don't diss my nickname. It's been catching fire. It's been catching fire.
It's been catching on. It's been catching on. Yeah, salute to RJ, man. Salute to RJ. Yeah, I mean, people have been using it. People have been using 9 God nickname. You know, I prefer Broadway Barrett, but 9 God is not a bad one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Salute to Yuli Ferrazola, says Mitch and Noel got them Evan Ingram hands. Yeah, you know about that, man. That's Giants problems, Ash. You wouldn't know about that, but yeah,
I don't.
Evan Ingram is not.
I'm glad that I don't.
Evan Ingram is not the one. Let's go back to the phones. Washington Heights. Kalo K. Darryl, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Ashley? What's up, CP? I wanted to talk about Obi Toppin. When I saw him at Dayton, it was kind of like, yeah, he looked like this guy, you know, power in, dunking the ball, you know, he looked big time. But once I seen him step on the NBA floor, he's smaller than a lot of those NBA bodies out there. And when he's under there, he looks like he's hiding, like he need an umbrella. He's not as strong as what I thought he would be in the NBA. And last week, to give a shout out to Ash, she was taking a lot of flack for the G League comment. He's not NBA ready. He should be, but he's not. And he isn't getting those minutes. You know, he needs a lot of development, I believe. So I would say send him to G League to give him that playing time. But I also understand what everybody was talking about with the whole psychological aspect and his confidence and everything. But when you look at him running around, he does look lost out there. You know, he's not even doing that spin-off move when he's backing in the post. He's just passing the ball back, taking three-pointers.
Because he can't body anybody.
What happened with Knox. Knox went from driving to three-pointers all of a sudden. So I really don't know what's going on. Maybe, I mean, we invested in development coaches, but where is the development?
Well, the thing is, though, you know, the development, and appreciate the call, bro. Appreciate the call. Salute to everybody up in the Heights, Uptown, Harlem World as well. Development's just not linear, you know what I mean? And everybody's not going to come in and just dominate off the bat, even though even Tibbs said he was ready. So it's kind of surprising that he's just not getting much going out there. You know, even seeing him backing down guards he's getting literally no traction, Ash. Like, it's kind of concerning. I'm not going to lie to you. Just to see him. But even in college at Dayton, though, in all fairness, he wasn't a back-down, post-up guy. He would operate out the post and pass out of the post. But the thing is with Obi at Dayton is that they had him running at the 5. They had him surrounded by 4 guards. So the floor was much better spaced for him. Now he's got to operate as the 4, maybe the 3 sometime. I don't know when they're going to do that, but he's got to operate in tighter quarters. So I'm just not sure, man. I'm just not sure, but
So,
we got to figure it out with him.
Well, before anything, the Timberwolves moved fast.
Yeah.
You know, got a new man on the block. They hired Chris Finch from the Raptors, their assistant coach, as the new head coach of the Timberwolves.
What?
So,
have you ever seen something like that?
One day you're in, one day you're out. Bada bing, bada boom. You know.
They were plotting in the darkness. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, they were plotting. So, like, I don't think it would have made a difference whether they won or lost. This man was out.
Oh yeah, he was out of there. He was damn. Well, he came in
got a new man waiting at the door.
Yeah.
You know?
in the shadows. That's cold blooded, man. That's cold blooded, especially Flip Saunders. But Ryan Saunders, not to put too much time on it because it's not our team, but he was an addition to Tibbs' staff in Minnesota as kind of what John Krasinski of the Athletic said. He was kind of like that guy that when you're a new coach signing on that you have to take on from the ownership. Like, you got to take this guy on. It happens in sports. You know, they kind of force certain coaches on you. And that's what Ryan Saunders was for Tibbs. So I don't know what his qualifications were back then or now, but clearly they didn't think much of him because they left him at Port Authority, man. Damn.
Yeah, that was in the works for a while. It's just he was the last one to know.
Cold-blooded.
Regarding Obi, listen, I know, my G League take kind of, ruffled some feathers and things like that, and about the development and not the development, the mentality, what it's going to do for his mentality. But on the other side of the coin, what does it do for your mentality when you are part of the actual team, but your coach doesn't trust you to play? He doesn't draw up plays that allow you to participate. Basically, you get it, and any mistake, whether you make a good one, if it's a bad mistake or you do something right, you're getting pulled regardless. What does that do for a player's mentality? I just think that the only reason I said the G League was because it gives you the opportunity, and the G League, he's not stuck there. I know, with the times that we're in right now, obviously they're in a bubble environment, but you can go ahead and pull them out and have them go through COVID protocol and all those things if need be. But I'm only saying from a G League perspective, because I feel like it's the only opportunity Obi is going to have to show Tibbs that he is ready to be part of this team, because I don't feel like he's going to get that opportunity right here with the New York Knicks. I feel like Tibbs is just very stubborn in the sense that he sees bits and pieces of Obi, and that's all he needs to see. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what he doesn't do. He's not getting the playing time. It's hindering his development. There's only so much you can do in practice, because an NBA game, the speed is different. Obviously, you're playing a different team. Their speed is different. I feel like you go to the G League, you're playing, let's not say, I don't know how many G League games everyone has seen, but those guys are balling out. They're not scrubs. It's not like, they're playing, it's like a varsity junior. Those guys are pretty solid. There have been some good G League games this season. It's giving him the opportunity to showcase what he can do, because he can't do it here. He's not going to be able to do it. It's not helping him.
He's not going to be able to do it here. And Tibbs was asked about Frank in the G League, and he said not yet. So I guess they'd rather have Frank get in the water for everybody, because he ain't playing right now. So.
But that comment in itself is ridiculous. The fact that Frank is better utilized to Tibbs sitting on the bench and just watching everything happen, instead of sending him someplace where he can get reps, where he can start getting back into the swing of things, where he can, play against guys, kind of get back into the game and things like that. You'd rather him sit on the bench and do what?
Frank's a goner, man. He's done. They're not going to, his representation is not going to let him stay here. He's a goner. I say just send him to the G League. What do we have to lose? He's not playing.
And also, my concern is, and this wouldn't be the first time this has happened in NBA history. I feel like what happens is when you are a player who hasn't had the time to kind of showcase what you can do, right? You're in the trade conversations because people think they don't need you.
Yeah.
But it would be premeditative to do that with Obi. Not saying that he's in any trade conversations, but if you listen to Twitter and you're on NBA Twitter, you listen to Knicks fans and things like that, people aren't, against sending him elsewhere depending on what you can get in return. And that would be a jump the gun type of decision, because you really haven't given him the opportunity to showcase what he can do. And at least in the G League, you would get that kind of visualization. You'd be able to see it, and it would save him from these conversations. He's not getting enough touches for me. He's not getting enough playing time for me. And I don't know what else he can do to change that. And that is my concern.
True story, man. Rich from Atlanta. Rich, should the Knicks be buyers or sellers at the deadline before you get to your game point? Should we be buyers or sellers, bro?
All right.
Oh boy,
Look,
he's ready.
If we're gonna sell, the only thing I want to sell from this team is the people we ain't using, mainly Frank. Okay. We're wasting him right now, leaving him on the bench. Now, everybody else, I think, has been developed. With Obi, we haven't given him a chance yet. So there's only one person I think needs to go, other than Smith, who we already sent, would be Frank.
Okay.
About the game, I know that one of the things that I've noticed is that, especially with RJ, is that the rotation and the loss of Mitch Robinson has affected him the most. When Mitch was in the game, I would see RJ go right to him for that pick and roll.
Yeah.
And because Mitch can catch the ball, they always lay off RJ so he could finish. And if they didn't lay off, he was giving Mitch a dunk. Noel's worst hands in the NBA. So every time he tries to pick and roll with him, when he tosses it up, Noel's either misses it or loses it in the air. Right now, the rotation is a mess because of Mitch not being there. I think that what Tibbs is doing is, yes, he leaves the second unit in there too long, but I think he's saying, look, sink or swim. Because in the playoffs, you're going to have to swim in order to win. And I think that's what he's doing. He's just letting them have to fight it out. Because you got, at some point, that second unit is going to have to play well on a consistent basis.
Okay.
Guys, I wanted to say CP Ashley, great show, first-time caller.
Appreciate you.
I just found the show after watching the game. Love it. Think I'm a new fan. I'm going to be here every time you guys are on. You have a great night. Yo, represent Boogie down in the house from Atlanta.
Sir. Yes, sir. Salute Rich. Salute Rich. Salute everybody in the Bronx. Salute everybody in ATL. Used to live out there as well, so salute everybody, man. Appreciate it. Let's go rapid fire, Ash. Anthony from LI. Ant, how you doing? All right. Damn, no. Anthony just blew the momentum, man. Damn.
You said, Rob, you put him up.
It's me.
Yeah, loud and clear, man. We waiting on you, bro.
No, I've been sitting there trying to get the heads up on everything, but hey,
all right,
it's real. I'm a New York. I'm from. I love y'all boys.
Okay.
Same time, hey, you know how the Knicks rock. Like, we've been disappointed for so long. But right now, I feel the growth. I really feel the growth. I want us to feel that. I want everybody that's a Knicks fan to sit there and understand what's really going on. We actually feel the energy. This is not like a negative energy, like, oh, we're sitting there at the bottom. We're sitting there trying to go for the top right now. We cannot sit there and sit. I know, CT, you like, okay, we may be better off sitting there, okay, we might get a better pick. But at the same time, we get more respect. That's it.
Yeah.
We got to win.
Okay.
Win as many games that you can. That's how it is.
Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. So he's all in, Ash. He's all 72. He said we got to get the W's, man. He's not with the tanking and all of that. Mm-hmm. He wants us to concentrate on the playoffs. He's feeling it though. He's feeling it. We're 15-16 right now. You know what I mean? The team is playing a lot differently on the Tibbs. I'm with him. You know, I'm with him, and they're fighting, man. So salute to Anthony. Appreciate that. Definitely.
Thank you for translating that because I didn't get any.
Yeah, it was a little inaudible, but he's from Long Island, so I you know what I mean. As a Long Island guy, I heard him through. So appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. Oh damn! I waited a little too long for the. I was waiting to close with Jay Boogie, but he had to run. Sorry, folks. Jay Boogie had to run on us, but yeah, we'll get to him next time. Josh from the Poconos. Should the Knicks be buyers or sellers at the deadline, bro? What do you think?
I think we should be sellers, man. We got to be patient with this. Look what's going on with Knox. We got to get rid of Knox. We have to. He's done. Frank's done. And like you were saying, Ari's right. We gotta stay solid. You know, for the future. I mean, these small time deals like JJ Redick and stuff. I'm with it. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, if that's the move that you want to make, sure. If that's the move that you want to make, sure. But, the little marginal getting rid of Knox Frank, you're not getting much for that. You know what I mean? You're not getting much for that, Ash. Like, those are the type of moves that you putting them in a package deal as like throw-ins at this point. You know what I mean? You're not getting anything of value. Just a 1-for-1 straight up Kev for something else or Frank for something else. You gotta put them in a package with RJ, in a Beal trade or a larger trade where they're just kind of like throwing pieces for salary. But right now, 1-for-1, you're not really doing much with it. You're not really doing much with it. So, Josh, you had something on CJ though, right? What do you want to talk about CJ?
Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, what do you think it would take to get him? I mean, I love CJ, one of my favorite players, but that's probably giving up RJ.
Of course, and I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It was leaked in the Daily News that the Knicks were monitoring, along with the Bradley Beal stuff, that they were monitoring C.J. McCollum. I'm looking at it. I hit you up, as I'm like, C.J. McCollum, where did this even come from? Dame ain't trading C.J., man.
I cannot confirm nor deny how I know. I can just tell you that is not happening. It's not even close to happening.
Foolery.
It's not even in the works of happening. It's just, wishful thinking and just typical NBA Twitter where a lot of things get thrown around, but on very good notice, if you will, very strong word
sources,
is bond, that it's not happening. So.
It's ridiculous. And people, oh my God, you don't even, this is why I brought it up on the show tonight, because I get DMs after DMs that it's like, yo, what do you think about this? Are we trading for CJ? Are we trading for Beal? Are we trading for Lee? So I'm just like, yo, just watch the show and we'll just address it one time so that we don't have to keep addressing it. The CJ thing, that never made sense to me. I don't even know where they got that from. That he would even be up for trade. Like, there's no way. It's
wishful thinking. Someone trying to get some clicks off or whatever the case may be, but it's definitely not even remotely close to being a possibility. It'd be a higher possibility to get Melo back before you got CJ. I mean, it's just not. Facts. It's just not happening. Yeah. So sorry,
not happening at all. Not happening at all, man. And speaking of which, 10 years ago, as you touch on Melo, 10 years ago, Ash, we made the blockbuster trade for Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks sending Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Timothy Mozgov, first-round pick and 2 second-round picks, $3 million in exchange for Melo.
You gotta say his name right, though. Who? MSG style.
Carmelo Anthony. Yo, I used to love that all the time, no doubt.
Yeah.
I used to love that, man. Shout out Mike Wilczewski, the MSG PA announcer. But what'd you think about the trade when that first went down, man? 10 years ago. It's crazy.
I think, I'm a little biased just because I'm a huge Carmelo Anthony fan. I have been since his days at Syracuse. So I was hype. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of it at the time. Gallinari, was kind of like that guy on the Knicks. A lot of people felt like we gave up way too much for him. But man, what a time that was to be a Knicks fan. That 2012 Knicks team was just special. I mean, that was a time to be in New York, honestly. That was a good time for New York sports. I'm not going to mention who went to the Super Bowl that year, but it was a good time to be in.
Who was that team?
I don't know. I don't know their name.
Don't let me go get my jacket in the closet. Don't let me go get my jacket and flex.
I don't know that team. Please. I don't know that. In the words of Mariah Carey, I don't know her.
All right.
But it was a really good time. I mean, Carmelo Anthony, obviously the hometown kid. I mean, yes, I know he claims being more, but Red Hook had him first. Yeah. Shout out to Syracuse also. And it was a great time. I mean, that team was special. And it was unfortunate that we couldn't do more with them. I think, it was a lot of just random pieces that kind of
that's what we were left with. That's what we were left with.
It worked. And then after that 2012 year, it just never worked again.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a good time.
Shout out Junior Karoma in the chat. He says, Ash, we own the NFC East. Shout out Junior, man. That's my guy.
Who's we? I don't know who you're referring to.
Well, you know, when you're New Yorkers, we is that New York team. You know what I'm saying? The team that you
I didn't know New York had any teams that actually played in New York. I know we had teams that played in Jersey.
Well, it's just a real estate issue. If you want to get technical, it's just a real estate problem. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when they can go ahead and actually play in New York, maybe I'll
we used to.
As a New York team.
We used to play at Yankee Stadium many
I used to be 5'4". Now I'm 5'7". Doesn't make a difference anymore. This is a new day, and in the new day, they play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Therefore,
just a real estate. This is a space problem. That's it. That's a space problem.
Cowboys play in Dallas, so
they play in Arlington.
We play, which is
Arlington.
Doesn't matter. It's Dallas. It's Dallas. It's still the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Not a different state. We don't play in Alabama, but I digress.
Whatever, man. I think my thing with Melo, I was with you, man. That was my favorite player since Syracuse days. When they made the trade, obviously I was thrilled, man. We had no excitement in the Garden. Remember, from 2000 to that point, it was nothing but trash, straight losing. Even Marbury and stuff, I was excited for that trade and getting Crawford. I loved that, but they were terrible. They were terrible. So when they got Stat was claiming we back, and then they go get Melo. It was great. I didn't want to give up. I was literally giving up Danilo, like you said, because he was the one piece of the trade where it was just like, he could maybe become, that equal to Melo. He never did, but he was still a good pro. Danilo still is. And the draft pick ended up turning into a pick swap, which turned out to be Jamal Murray. So it was a lot because, like you said, once we got him, it became Anthony Carter and Sheldon Williams and just a lot of scrubs Billy Walker and like a lot of scrubs in between. So he couldn't compete. But even though, and I put it out there on Twitter for the people to debate it today, and it was a lot of nice opinions. Even though we gave up a lot and it turned out to be, it didn't turn out in our favor, obviously, I feel like a lot of people blame it all squarely on him, not waiting for free agency. But if I'm Dolan, you got to roll the dice on that because I really thought he was going to go to the Nets. Remember, Leon Rose was representing Melo at the time. Mm-hmm. Melo wanted the bag. And so he could have very easily went to the Nets instead. And if you're James Dolan, you're not going to let him sneak into your backyard like that. You're going to pull the trigger. I would have pulled it if I was Dolan as well.
Yeah.
There were other factors that led to the demise of his tenure here. Biggest one to me was Amari broke down fast. So,
which is till this day one of the biggest New York Knicks travesties ever. Yeah,
you had a max contract in a guy that could not play. Mm-hmm. The amnestying Chauncey Billups was a rush decision. They should have done it with Amari. And, but they weren't going to do that. They definitely weren't going to do that from a PR standpoint. So I know a lot of people want to blame it on Melo and saying that, we mortgage future. But there was a lot of other things that they did in between that messed his whole run up. And I thought the Stat thing was the biggest thing. You had $20 million parked, basically, in a rock. Yeah, and so it was tough. But Nick State was a good year. year.
Remember it was J.R. Smith. It was, remember the Lynn Sanity era, as long as it lasted, those, week and a half or whatever it was. Good week and a half of Lynn Sanity. The Garden was booming with all types of Asians. It was fantastic. We looked like the United Nations in there.
100%. Because I was down in Atlanta and I was in grad school at the time, and there's a lot of Asian kids in my class, but a lot of kids that never really watched basketball or paid attention to the Knicks. So I would stroll into class with my Knicks gear on, and I would be like that guy that would teach everybody what was going on with the Knicks and Jeremy Lin and everything. So it was a cultural movement. Carmelo didn't feel it, but, it was a good time.
Yeah, Carmelo wasn't the biggest fan of Lin Sanity, but it was a cool time because it was just so many I think it was also so many different pieces that just kind of came together that worked for some reason, and it didn't make sense on paper. I mean, if you look at that team, you know, and some of the team names that come to mind, you had J.R. Smith, you had Jason Kidd at one point, you had Jeremy Lin, you had Carmelo Anthony, you had Stat, you had Shump. I mean, it was so many just different pieces that on paper, if you looked at it and you were reading it, you were like, this team's supposed to do what now? Like this is a cluster. Like,
so the thing with Lin,
what is this?
Well, Kid came after Lin. Kid was the year after Lin didn't decide to sign on with them. And Melo actually called it a ridiculous contract. But, you know, like you said, man, Knicks tape was all year. They won 54 games. Melo finished with third place in the MVP voting. And that's the closest we came, man. That's the closest we came.
Rasheed Wallace, remember that? Ball don't lie.
My favorite player, man. One of my favorite players. Sheed, absolutely.
The ball don't lie.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad on the Melo days. All right, a couple more calls before you get to our giveaways. Let's go to Ron from Brooklyn. Ron, should the Knicks be buyers or sellers at the deadline?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. It's a pleasure. I personally think that the Knicks, if there was a time for team stand pat, I'm there. I think the Knicks have a very fun and exciting young team. I think if you watch how they play under Thibodeau's guidance, they can beat any team on any given night. You know, it doesn't matter if you bring in all types of other stars to see how far you can go in the playoffs. I think what the Knicks really need to do is they need to hold on to their assets. I think they should continue to play these young players that the Knicks have, because the biggest issue with Thibodeau is, you know, he's one of those coaches that likes to win now, and he likes to have solid vets on his team that he can count on. I think you got to force Thibodeau to start playing with these young guys and let him, you know, run the course with them all year. Not only is it going to help him understand that he's got to play with the guys he's got and cultivate them, but it's going to give the young guys a chance to get better and understand how to be in a situation where you're in different scenarios and learn how to play. Because once you start bringing in guys, like if you could bring in Bradley Beal, that changes everything. And I know it's going to help to some extent, but it's going to mess up the process for others. Plus, you hold on to these picks one more year, because next year's draft is supposed to be a really good draft.
Yeah.
Just being in it gives you a great chance to build your team. So keep the picks, keep your players, and if anything, Julius Randle will have a full season under his belt. Maybe he makes the All-Star team, maybe he doesn't, but he keeps growing, and his value is still going to be there. So I think they 100%. Should just stand pat and, you know, go from there.
100%. Appreciate the call, Ron. I want to see these draft picks here. The Dallas pick and our pick in this lottery, Ash, if we make the lottery. I want to see them here. I want to see who they become. I want to see what we can do. We need more talent, homegrown talent. Don't just bag it all up and throw it away for Bradley Beal. And don't trade RJ. 100% do not trade RJ. Don't trade.
No, 100% agree with that take.
Yeah.
I obviously, if I could get Bradley Beal for Knox and Peyton, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, great.
But I can't. This is the real world, and that's not going to happen. So in the real world, you're going to have to give away a lot for someone of Bradley Beal's caliber, and we're just not in the position to do that. And not only are we not in the position, it's not necessary for us to do that.
No, right now.
Saying this, we were a different team, but we're not. We're the team that we are, and we need to make moves that are beneficial to who we are and what we need and where we want to be in the future.
Yes, sir. Couple more. Make sure you guys are signing up for the giveaways, because we're going to give it away in just 5 minutes. D from Hawaii. How you doing, D?
What up? Originally from Queens, Jamaica, Queens.
Yes.
Love your show, man. Good show. So for the seller and buyers, I agree with Ash. Hey, hi, Ash. Sorry.
Hi.
CPM, Ash, my bad.
Protocol.
Obviously, I think that we should definitely get rid of Knox and Frank. Not get rid of them, but get something back just to help, you know, get some supportive assets to get this team going. I love Tibbs. Tibbs is a hardcore coach for a long time. I mean, kind of reminds me of Jeff Van Gundy, you know, without without actually jumping on the court when it was brawling back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely that. But I just want to hit you with one point when it came to the Bradley Beal conversation. I don't know if you guys are looking at the fourth quarter where Clyde, I think it was Julius Randle that was going to the line. And instead of Clyde saying Julius Randle, he said Bradley, and then he stopped. And then you said Julius Randle's about to go shoot. That actually called me. I was like, all right, cool. And I'm listening to that first call, and I was like, hey, man, that man, was it Ari? He was like, he got the vision. So, hey, the vision is there. I mean, obviously, like what Ash said, that if, there's going to be a lot of assets that we're going to have to use in order to get Bradley Beal. But I'm definitely down. I'm on the trade to get Bradley Beal. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to your show. Yeah. Shout out to Manscaped. You know what I'm saying? Keep grooming down there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. And he shouted out the sponsor, Ash.
I actually got my kit. Not that I
Oh,
need
you got
it.
the kit?
I did get the kit.
Okay.
I don't need it.
How is it? I don't need the testimonials, but just let me know.
Listen, I can't give you a testimonial because it's not something I could utilize. I gave it to my dad.
Okay, all right.
But I can say that women, we do like, little grooming.
You gotta keep it tight, man.
Gotta keep it right.
You
Gotta keep it tight. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
I can just tell you what women like. I can't tell you what it looks like. I can't tell you what it feels like.
I keep it handy right by the computer, right here, just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm into, man.
Is that where you like to do it?
Yeah, it's right here. When I'm watching the game, I got the TV right here. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah, that's it, man. So to everybody in the chat, manscaped.com, promo code Knicks for 20% off. My guy D from Hawaii got his. All my friends in the UK, Australia, we do ship down there as well. 20% off your full purchase. It's a great product, man. Ashley got hers. She's using it. She loves it. No testimonials.
No, I'm not.
No testimonials, but yeah, make sure you guys get your products. And they got a ton of stuff though in Manscaped. Not just the shaver, the cologne is good, the travel bag, all that stuff. So make sure you guys get it. 20% off.
I really love the fact that you keep yours by the computer.
Keep it handy. Keep it handy.
You gotta look. I know you gotta look good for the Knicks. I get it.
Everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keep it groomed. Keep it groomed. So salute to D. This is a good reminder by D. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, 2 more calls before we wrap up. I gotta hear from my guy Zay from Maryland. Zay, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm cracking up about the Clippers about the computer. That's hilarious.
You gotta keep it tight, Jay. Keep it tight, bro.
I hear you. For me, my opinion on the whole buyer seller thing is, I think we should be buyers, but like very cheap buyers. Like we got to be real cheap on the market, I think we don't have enough assets to be sellers at all. Like, who are we selling?
Yeah.
If anybody the only piece that we can really sell and get something for are pieces that we need to keep on the team.
Right.
So that's not even a realistic goal. I think we need to be patient and, just add pieces to the team. So right now, I think the biggest hole is, we need a point guard. A lot of people, they love Quickly. They think Quickly needs to be the point guard, but I think Quickly is like the perfect off-ball guard that can play with the ball. But I think he's more of a shooting guard, kind of like that Swiss Army knife, kind of like a C.J. McCollum type player.
Right.
So I don't, a lot of people want to push him to be the starting point guard. I don't think he's a starting point guard quality. I don't think he has the handles to really be starting point guard. I think he just has enough handles to pretty much facilitate at times in the game. But and then another thing with Obi, I wanted to bring up the Obi topic real quick. I think people need to remember that, this is a funny season. Like, it's the pandemic. Yeah. There's teams that are losing 2-3 players at a time. Luckily we haven't had that yet. We haven't had any problems, but I think Tibbs is keeping all his pieces close to him, and he doesn't want to send anybody to the G League because he just never knows when he needs to actually throw them in there, and they're going to get more playing time than expected. So I think Obi's fine just learning off the bench and staying with the team. But he's a tweener though, so it's not. He's too small to be a center. He's too. Yeah, he's too like I don't know. He's just kind of like tweener. He needs to either bulk up or slim down.
Yeah.
And work on his shot. So I think that's where we're gonna progress to. But it's his first season. He's got plenty of seasons to go. We got enough guys in the locker room right now that are hardworking guys that's gonna hit the off season running. And I think that's what we're building towards now with this team is we're gonna hit the off season and we're gonna get better. And stop worrying about this season. We need to worry about the future seasons, and Obi's going to be fine.
True. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you on all the trade talk. We just got to focus on taking the steps to progress. I think, Ash, as soon as people see that, we in playoff contention, it's like, okay, let's put the pieces together and win right now. We can't think that way. We can't think so short-sighted. We just gotta just let it marinate. Just let it marinate with what they have. If they make it, cool. If they don't, to me, even better.
Absolutely.
Even better.
And first of all, there are over 1,400 people watching right now, and I only see 695 likes. And to the 7 people who hit the thumbs down, you're whacking your corny, okay? I see you. And whoever the person is that hits the thumbs down before the show even starts, I see you too.
Yeah, we know who they are. We know who they are.
Okay, you're corny. But I need everyone to hit that thumbs up because there's 1,400 of you in here, and we should have more than 699 likes. And so,
you heard
back to the topic at hand. Yeah, I mean, you gotta let them cook. That's it. It really is what it is. You gotta let them cook. You gotta let them you gotta figure out what the team, as it looks like, what it can possibly do together. Mm-hmm. And then that's the only way that you can really, intelligently make a good decision in what you can add to the situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to do that in reverse. I think a lot of the times you get spoiled by the fact that you're winning and you're winning, consistently. It's not like we're in a losing season. We're right in the middle of it. We're right in the hunt of things in the East, and you have to go ahead and, you get hungry and you want more and you want it now, but that's not the long game. You got to play the long game. You got to play the smart game. And the smart game is taking what you have, developing it, seeing what you can do, letting that cook, and then going ahead and adding to that at a later date without having to go ahead and turn your entire team upside down and inside out. So
100%.
I think we're headed in the right direction, and we have a lot more that we need to do. Obviously, we're not anywhere close to finish or completed as a team. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is doubting that. But you can't put the carriage before the horse, as they say. They got to go together. So
Ruel Wilson from Japan says, Ash putting the folks on blast. Yeah, we got up to 800. So, let them know.
I have to, because I don't like the fact that someone thumbs down in the show before it even starts, and you're corny.
Well, what you'll learn is that, we got haters here at KnicksFanTV. And
all right. So
from doing this all the time.
What did Chris Brown say? How can you hate from outside the club? You can't even get in.
That's it. Okay. That's it. This is exclusive. So we used to it, but my saying is the love always overpowers the lames. You know what I'm saying? And we got 800 likes right now to 7. So I never worry about the thumbs down. It's expected. You expect it at this point. We got 31,000 subscribers here. You know what I'm saying? People get upset. People get tight. People want the other people to watch their show. It is what it is. It is what it is. But for the people that are here, we want you to hit that thumbs up. So hit that thumbs up for your squad, like you heard Ashley say. All right, Ash. Last call of the night before we do the giveaway. Dan from Long Island is the closer. We missed Jay Boogie, but Dan is a good caller as well. Dan, go ahead and send us home, man.
Yeah, what's good there? First of all, I can't. Yeah, big shoes to fill with Jay.
Yeah.
Just real quick. The people giving you the thumbs down is all that old media. You know what I'm saying? It's old media. You're new media, right? You're cutting edge, right? You're doing all the new stuff, and that's why old media can't get Julius Randle to open up the way JJ Redick did, right? Yeah. That's why cats can't do interviews like the knuckleheads, right? Because those guys get people to really open up. It's a whole new form. That's what you guys are doing. You guys are on the cutting edge. So all this old media. I know you got to play nice with Bondi and Berman and all those cats, but those guys are on the way out, and those are the guys who are hated.
Yeah.
Real quick. Ash, I love you. But I don't know. I get the sense that you drag Thibodeau a lot on this show.
No.
And I'm just saying, like, you're killing him a little bit. And I just feel, listen, we're a game under 500. Remember last year, Veterans Day, we're getting blown out by 30 at home by the Cavs.
Oh yeah.
And as far as Obi's concerned, listen, he sees him in practice every day. The kid didn't have a summer league. The kid didn't even play in a Power 5 conference. Maybe he takes some more time to get ready. So again, I'm not coming for you, Ash. I'm not bringing no smoke. I'm just saying, I just get the sense sometimes that you're kind of down on Thibodeau.
I thought you was light today. I thought you was light on
I don't know.
Tibbs.
I'm very happy where we are. So
yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
Appreciate you, Dan. Appreciate you. I didn't think you were too heavy on Tibbs today.
Yeah. I thought I was nice to Tibbs today.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I always call a spade a spade. It's just, it is what I do. It is what it is. And I feel like I go ahead and I'm very, very grateful for what he has done with this team. We're top 5 in defense in the NBA, and that's credit to Tibbs. I think this team looks like a team. I think this team's attitude has changed drastically from last season and previous seasons. And that is credit to Tibbs. And I will never take that from him. But just because I am, proud of him in certain things, does not mean that he is, not allowed to be critiqued. And there aren't things about him that need to get better. His rotations need to get better. I think the way he views player development for these young guys needs to get better. And I definitely think that with criticism comes change, and with change comes a team that I think Knicks fans deserve. And we deserve a team that wins. We deserve a team that wins consistently. We deserve a team that competes. We deserve a team that's going to be a contender. We deserve a team that's no longer the laughing stock. You know what I mean? We've been in this cycle for way too long where it's just been hard to be a Knicks fan. It's been embarrassing sometimes to be a Knicks fan, that you have to go to bat and defend a team that does not look great, that even, the front office, even the franchise doesn't know what they're doing, that they don't believe in. And now we're finally in a space where that's not the case. They're talking about us on, the big 3, if you will, in sports media. Everyone's talking about the New York Knicks and how this team wins, how they look different. But that doesn't mean that Tibbs is not prone to criticism when need be. And I'm a firm believer that if you deserve the criticism, I'm going to give it to you, because I'm a Knicks fan and I deserve a team that's going to win. And if you're going to be the coach of the future, then I want a team that wins. And in order to do that, I got to critique you when necessary. And that's it.
Simple and plain. Drop the mic.
Simple and plain.
Simple.
It's tough love, Tibbs. It's all love, though. I love you, bro. It's all love.
All right, here we go. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm seeing more entries coming in, but this is it, man. You guys had all day to do it.
No, I feel like we shouldn't give this shirt away until we hit 1,000 likes.
We got 886. Let's go.
That's how I feel.
Because not only is the shirt going away, that I got for all those out there in the wintertime, I got an all black with a nice blue outline. Scully, man, protect your bean. You know what I'm saying? So there's 2 people gonna go home tonight winners. So let's go. Let's get those likes up.
That's how I feel. You scratch my back,
let's go.
I scratch your back.
No, you're right. You're right, Ash. I appreciate that, being the voice of reason here. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Let's get those likes up. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new as well, and we'll shout you guys out. And 30 cities in the chat, man. 1,300 people in here. Let's 30 cities in the chat. Let us know where you guys are checking in from, and we will shout you guys out as well.
While we wait for those 1,000 likes that are coming soon, I will ask, how do you feel? Listen, Boogie's out there on the free market. Drummond is possibly going to be moved. I see some Knicks fans in the chat all night talking about Boogie to New York, DeMarcus to New York, Drummond to New York. What's your take on that?
I mean, I think as we talk about the Obi situation, it takes more playing time away from him. You know what I mean? It takes more playing time away from him. I think Boogie's washed. He's washed. He's done. People have been talking about Boogie for like the last 4 years. He's been done for the last 4 years. He's cooked. He plays no defense. I need somebody that can play defense. He can stretch the floor for you, no doubt. No doubt. He can still stretch the floor for you, still score a couple buckets here and there, but I don't want to take that time away from Obi. You know what I'm saying? Right now, what I want to figure out a way to get him some more playing time and get Randall at the 5. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Boogie, nah, I wouldn't touch. Drummond, see, the thing with Drummond is he's not helping you from a spacing standpoint. You don't want to clog that thing up even more with Randall and RJ in the middle. Even though Mitch is gone for a couple weeks, Drummond is not going to help you do that. You know what I'm saying? Drummond, he's another guy that's going to hold the ball. He's going to bang. He can pass the ball. He can facilitate well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a scrub. I'm just saying, ideally for this team, with Randall already here doing that, I'd rather go a different direction. Give me a 5 that's going to be either a lockdown defender or somebody that's going to just be a lights out, spacer, a floor spacer for us. That's what we need. But those guys aren't available that much unless you're going to pony up, unless you're going to pay to play. But Boogie's washed, man. I'm not going with Boogie.
Yeah.
Man.
I think the thing with Boogie, and I tweeted this because there are a bunch of teams that, people are saying that he should go to. I think it only makes sense for him to go to one or two teams. And one of the teams I will not name, that other team in New York that we don't acknowledge.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge.
The other team is the Lakers, because here's the thing. Boogie is only going to be beneficial to a team that does not need him to score. Right. He's only going to be beneficial to a team that really just needs somebody who can bully people, because that's really all that he can do at this moment in his career. His defense is very inconsistent. His offense is non-existent virtually. So he can't go to a team that requires him to put up points.
Yeah.
He can't go to a team that requires him to play like impeccable defense. Basically, he's your pit bull out there. It's for a team that's struggling defensively, that just kind of needs somebody to kind of,
be a body out there.
Yeah, be a body just out there on the court, giving, another team a little bit difficulty when it comes to, making shots and things like that. And there's only two teams that really can use that and need that, because scoring is not their issue. And the New York Knicks are not one of those teams. So I just feel like Boogie does absolutely nothing for us. Yeah. Drummond, listen, Drummond is, I got to give Drummond his credit, because he was really able to turn that. He's super talented. And on top of that, he really just 180 his entire career, because last season, people were looking at him all types of crazy, saying, is he washed? Is it over for him?
That's true.
He rose from the ashes like a phoenix. And here we are in conversations like, yo, where is he going to go?
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Knicks are somebody that can benefit from him either. I think that it's going to change.
Man. It's just too tight. When we talk about RJ driving in lane on 4 guys, Drummond's not going to help you in that way. That's the thing, because he can't shoot it. He can't shoot it. He's not gonna help you space that floor. That's a problem. He's dominant. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that second to last game that they played against the Cavs, he dropped like 30 and 20 against the Knicks. They had no answer for him. But I don't think he's the answer for us at this time.
And correction, Boogie's offense is not non-existent, but when you compare it to Sacktown Boogie, it's not going to be as
he's not who he was
at this point in his career. So yes, he can shoot, but you don't always get the same Boogie day in and day out. When he was in Sacramento, Boogie was a monster. He's no longer that DeMarcus Cousins, and let's call it what it is. Let's just call it a spade, as I always say. It's just at this point in his career, it's just not gonna happen from him.
He's just not that guy. He's just not that guy. Let's go. We got 930 likes. Let's hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. Let me shout out. I saluted. Who do I want to shout out? My guy Kyle says he's checking in from Long Island at his parents' house. So salute Kyle Money, no doubt. My guy Slick Nick says he's checking in from Bucktown. Salute to Bucktown. All right. Who else we got in here? Salute to my guy Hospi checking in from BC up in Canada. NYK MJ305. So it sounds like a Miami person. Love the show. Can I get a shout out? Knicks fan for life. No doubt, man. Who else we got in here? Joseph Richardson says he's Team Drummond. Okay. Teron Mosley, Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. Salute to everybody. Do or die, Bed-Stuy. Carlos Martinez, Perth, Australia. No doubt, man. Salute to everybody that was down in Australia. Australian Open. Salute to Naomi for taking it home.
Yes. One time for Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, man. Dominant performance. Liggy from Adelaide, Australia. Okay. All right. We got pseudonym Skeep from North New Jersey. Fresno, California, engineering with rock. What's going on? Alfredo G, how you feeling, bro? Rich Sanity says living in Dallas, but from BK, no doubt. London City, Jamal Simpson, damn. 5 a.m. out in London, so he's dedicated. Either getting ready for work or he's just locked in. Appreciate it still. Shout out to Jay Thompson, Freeport. Salute to the port. Everybody out in the Velton as well. James Glimco from Long Island. So Long Island's in here heavy. TM, yeah, Australians are always repping us, man. So yeah, definitely appreciate it. 9:54. We're on the come up, people. Let's get those likes. Let's hit that thumbs up button.
Listen, I need 40.
We need 1,000.
I need 45 more likes, guys.
45 more likes.
That's it. Now it's 44.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go. We're ready to hit the button. I'm ready to hit the button. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to go. Waiting on the people, man. Let's go. Hit those likes. Let's get those likes.
Waiting on the people.
Waiting on the people.
1,300 of you guys in here. It shouldn't be that hard. We should have been at 1,000 already.
956 and climbing. Fort Greene, Brooklyn student 73. What's going on, Fort Greene? 2 Lunch JC. Shout out Jersey. Salute to Jersey, man. Chris Iodice, Jackson Heights. All right. Knicks Lights in the building, man. Knicks Lights, appreciate you. Knicks Lights makes our highlights for the evening, so definitely appreciate you for that. And all your hard work. He makes all the, he or she, I'm not sure who they are, but they make the individual highlights and everything, so we appreciate that.
I feel like if we get to 1,000 likes and we need to plan something where it's like a giveaway that I do for the fans.
Let's do it.
Because we're now 10 away. So we'll plan something special where I give something personal from me to you guys if we get to 1,000.
What are we gonna do? Like Love Connection? I'm gonna be Chuck Woolery. I'm gonna be Chuck Woolery there.
Not auction me off.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, let's do it. The chat would be loving that. Let's do it.
I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can auction me off.
Who's behind door number 1? Oh, that would be a show. That would be a dope show, Ash. We gotta think about that.
Are we gonna do a KnicksFanTV Love Connection show?
Yes. That would be perfect. That would be perfect. We're doing Love Connection.
Your top 3 favorite Knicks, and I'll see if we're compatible. Go.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that would be the joint, man.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, see, now we got to 1,000 likes. That means the chat is with it. The chat is with it. Look how fast we got to 1,000 likes, man, off that suggestion. All right, here we go. KnicksFanTV Love Connection. That's the new show.
Look what you started. That's your fault. Now
show.
you gotta come up and oh God.
Let's go. I'm with it. SimpFanTV, hit that like button for SimpFanTV in here. Let's go.
Can't do it. I cannot believe you just auctioned me off.
Let's go. Win a date with Ash. KnicksFanTV Love Connection. Let's do it. Yeah, the chat is with me. The chat is with me on this. This is a great idea. All right, the first person to win the shirt. Let's go. Here it is, Ash. First person to win the t-shirt. It's a size large, so I hope it fits. Joseph Pablo. Congratulations to Joseph Pablo, man. You just won the t-shirt.
Nice.
It's a dope shirt, man. I was going to keep it myself, to be honest with you, but when I got it, I was like, all right, I'll give it up. This one was sponsored by Nuggy Fresh. So salute to Nuggy Fresh. Yeah, it's a great name, right? Yeah. Definitely Nuggy Fresh. I'm not even going to open it. So that's a size large. All right. Next winner is going to win the Scully. Brand new with the tags. No Fulton Street Jamaica
90 seconds.
knockoff. None of that. This is brand new with the tags. If you're in a place, if I give it to you in a place where you don't need it, you can get a snapback. I'll replace it with a snapback. All right. So let's get Joseph Pablo out there and go to the next name. Winner is Titular Hoyos. Okay. Titular Hoyos. So shout out to Titular. Congratulations to you. Like I said, if you need a snapback, we'll get to you. If you don't need it, just let us know. We'll get you a snapback. So to everybody that played, man, and everybody who supported us. Ash, go ahead and sign out.
All right, so as usual, guys, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ash Nicole Moss, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, All In with Ashley Nicole. And I know you guys keep asking me and DMing me about this special secret project that CPI and working on. I promise you it's coming. I wasn't, making it up. It actually is in the works. So just be patient. It's almost there. I got you guys, and we will be rolling that out very, very shortly. So that's it.
Absolutely, man. Love connection. KnicksFanTV on the way soon. No, that's not the show. But we do have something in the works. And yeah, it's going to be great, man. 103.99 Knicks win, a tight one. Leave us a comment in the chat. Let us know what you thought. Keep the conversation going, man. We have the Discord group. We have Twitter private chats. You know, we always keeping the conversation going, so you always know where to find us. Instagram, Facebook as well. Appreciate you guys. And Wednesday night, Knicks, Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry and them coming into town. Tuesday. So Steph, Draymond, and everybody coming into town. And the fans.
Yeah, and I'll actually be in the Garden on Thursday.
All right.
If I see you guys out there, make sure you guys say what's up.
Autograph session with Ashley Fan TV at gate 33. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Yeah, that'll be a good one, Ash. You're gonna have to call in after the game, man. Let us know what's going on. Yeah, that'll be a good time, man. So everybody take care. Salute to all the mods. We appreciate it. And congratulations to all the winners. And we'll see you guys Tuesday night. Peace.